What's up everyone, and welcome back to my channel, the #1 place for all things beauty, hair, fashion, and a lifestyle. If it's your first time here, then welcome to the Lady M family. I'm so glad to have you. And to all my oldies, welcome back. Glad to also have you as part of the Lady M family. So in today's video, I'm going to teach you my step-by-step guide or my routine on how I achieve a flawless matte foundation for all those dry skin people out there. Yes, I have dry skin and I love to wear a matte foundation, but there's a trick to be able to not look cakey, to not be looking patchy, and just to have a nice flawless application. So if you're interested in learning how to achieve that look or this look, then keep on watching. Let's get into it. I already have my brows done, and now I'm just gonna get into my moisturizer, my primer, and then applying my foundation. So if you have dry skin and you want to wear a matte foundation, that is absolutely possible. The most important thing is what we're gonna start out with is the skin. And how do we prep our skin to not look flaky, so you don't see your dry patches all under your foundation or peeking through your foundation. So for today, I'm gonna use one of my faves. This is the vegan milk moisturizer. Amazing product. I love it a lot. Very hydrating. And just so you can kind of see what the consistency of this looks like, just a nice white, thick consistency. And I don't typically apply it to my face. I just kind of put it in the palms of my hand, and then I just kind of work it into my skin. So again, just to make sure that our skin is really hydrated and really prepped to be able to not look dry and, you know, super flaky when you have on that, you know, matte foundation. So I have that on. And typically, most times when I wear a matte foundation, I usually go in with a hydrating primer. I don't really do a mattifying primer because the foundation will help control my oils because I am dry. So I typically just do a hydrating primer because I need that extra hydration. And so for today's primer, I'm going to be using the McGrath primer. It came out when she came out with her foundation, and so that's what I'm going to be using today. I'm going to put like 1, 2, 3 pumps of this, and this I would consider it to be hydrating. It's more like perfecting the skin. It does a good job of blurring, right, which is kind of what we want. We want to make sure that, you know, if you're dry and you have a little bit of texture, your dry patches, you kind of want to blur those out. And so that's what this primer is gonna be able to do for you, is that it's gonna kind of blur out any skin issues you had and just kind of perfect the skin and get the skin ready for your foundation. Skin feels nice and plump and supple. I like to let the primer sit on my skin first before I go in with any other product. And for today's look, I'm going to use the McGrath foundation. This is the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Foundation. All these big words, anti-pat. And I am in the shade Medium Deep 25. Perfect. And if you've never used her foundation before, it's really good. It's not like a full-on coverage. I probably would say more along the medium lines, but it is buildable without looking cakey. Okay. All right, so I'm just giving it a really good shake here, and I'm just going to directly apply this couple pumps on my face and just kind of work it out. Yes. So you guys can kind of just see from me doing that how lightweight it is. And typically I like to kind of use more along the lines of like a lightweight foundation, because if I'm gonna be outside and I want that foundation to look good throughout the day, then I don't want something that's too thick that I'm gonna feel like I want to just like scratch my face off. You know what I mean? I don't know how many of y'all have ever felt that way when you have on like foundation and it's like hot as heck outside and you're just like, oh my god, I just want to take it off, like, ooh, right? So I don't like to have that feeling, so I typically tend to like a lot of more lighter weight foundation. And another pump. And I just do this just because it's less messy and I can go in with my brush and you know, blend it out. And then for my brush today, I'm using the Sephora collection brush. I don't know the brush number. It's just this really cute brush. I like it because it's kind of kind of has a slant to it. So it just really does a good job of packing in the foundation. But before I do that, I like to kind of mist my face. And I'm going to use the Fresh Vitamin Nectar Antioxidant Glow Water. So yes, give me that protection from free radical damage. Okay. So just kind of spray that on my face. A little dab will do you, or however much you feel like you need to go in. And then I just kind of let that dry down for a little bit, and then I just start to pat. And as you can see, guys, I'm just like patting the foundation like into my skin. Pat, pat, pat. And like you can tell, like this is super lightweight. And I consider it a matte foundation because it holds up. Okay. I get that nice long wear throughout the day. And I like to look like my skin. You know, I don't like to look like overdone or overbaked. Yeah, I don't like that look. So I just typically tend to like something that gives me some coverage and just makes me look boss. It's like, I would say one application, but I mean, I'm extra, so you know, I'm gonna have to go in just a little bit more just to get me a little bit more coverage, a little bit more. Nothing wrong with that, right? So starting out with those pumps right here, and like I just typically try to build up in the area that I want the more coverage, which is just right here in my cheek area, my cheekbone area. I don't mind, you know, other stuff kind of like poking through. So I'm not even gonna go back in this time with the fresh spray because we kind of already did that the first round. And in the areas that you need that coverage, honey, just pat it in with the brush. Pat, pat, pat. And you can just see it helps to build up the coverage in that area. I don't use the beauty blender. I just feel like I just have to apply way too much product to get the coverage that I need with the beauty blender because it's wet, or sponge, whatever you guys use. So I just like to use my handy dandy brushes because I feel like I have more control over it. I have more control over where I'm applying it, and it gives me the look that I'm looking for a lot. So there you have it. That is round 2 on that side. I'm loving it with that. I'm looking here, looking in this mirror. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in on the other side with the second pump. Y'all don't judge me. Y'all know y'all do the same thing too at home. And pull my face to the side because I don't want it to get on my clothes, because then, you know, that's not gonna be good. And just like that, I just bring it down. Bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. Oh, yes. Easy peasy. beautiful cover girl. All right, and then while that one settles, I'm just gonna put like two and change right there on my forehead to give me some more coverage there. I don't really care about that part really, but I don't want it to feel left out, so I'm going in there too with, you know, swiping it and giving me some coverage in there. All right, so let that dry. Dry. And then I'm gonna blend this out, and then I'll be back to show you my concealer application, and we'll move on through my step-by-step routine. All right, so I'm just gonna go in with the Juvias Place concealer, and I like this because the coverage is bomb. And I'm almost finished with this, so I'm trying to get every little bit out of here. As you guys can see, like I was debating like what other concealer I was gonna use. Like I'm trying to use, you know, a little bit more black owned in some of my faves, but the Juvias Place is one of my faves. But I was like debating between that one and Pat McGrath. I love that concealer as well. And I probably just really need to just open up a new one of this Juvias Place, but I just haven't yet. Trying to get every little bit out of it. And then for my sponge, I'm going to be using the Sonia Cashew sponge today. I love this sponge. It's so big, and it does a really good job of blending. So now that you can see the foundation is dried down, you know how it looks. It doesn't even look like I have anything on, honestly. But hey, that's kind of like what I like. If you're like that kind of person that loves, like, you know, like that double wear kind of look with your foundation, then the Pat McGrath is not for you. Like, oh, I know. So there you have it. I'm just gonna take this over my lids, because like I said, we're just gonna focus on our foundation today, nothing else. So I just want to have like the nice even base today, and blend. Trying to use this sponge to kind of get in there where my brows are. And then I just like to blend out the corners, and I don't want to have like, you know, no transition where you can't see the color where it, you know, where my concealer ended. So I don't like that, so I'm trying to blend that out. So we blended that out. I think I like the way that it's looking. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about foundation. Have you tried any of these products? Like, you know, let me know. I want to know. What are some of your faves? Maybe there's something that you guys use that I don't know, so you know, you gotta let me know so I can get up on game. Iron sharpens iron. You feel me? So yeah, we gotta help each other out. Okay, so I think that is pretty much blended out pretty good. And then I'm gonna go in and set everything, and then bronze, and then that's it. My powder. And for this, I'm going to use my Pat McGrath powder, and this is in the shade medium. So that's what I'm gonna use today. That's my first powder that I'm gonna set with, because, you know, like I said, I'm extra, so gotta go ham. So I'm just applying, and like this powder is everything, okay? Like, it does everything. And I'm just applying the same powder on my lid because like I said, we're just focusing on the foundation today, so I'm not gonna apply any eyes or anything. Just press, press, press. A little bit, do ya? And like, oh my god, I can already tell the difference because this is looking so good. Like, I like it. See? Let me get up in here so you guys can kind of see. Bring you in, and then go back. Put some powder on the nose area. And I'm going to use this the Fenty powder in the shade Cashew, and I'm going to use that to set the rest of my face, you know, before I go in with my bronzer. That's it. We're just doing like every day what you would wear to work, even if you didn't want to do no eyeshadow. Just, you know, put the foundation on the lids and then just set it with the powder, and then you're on your way. Just gotta bronze, you know, you don't want to have like that flat looking face, you know, where you're just like flat, just no dimension or anything to the face. So that's not the look we're going for, okay? And I recommend that you don't do that either. You just need to bronze. If you don't do nothing else, guys, bronzing is key. Okay, so I have my little Fenty powder here, my little mini, my travel size, and I'm gonna grab. The puff has like a whole bunch of product on there, so I'm just gonna grab from the puff that it has, and then just gonna set my face using the same powder brush, or my same little setting brush. Like, I have a big brush that I typically could use, but I don't like washing brushes, so I like to use. If I could use one for multi-purposes, then hey, I'm here for it. So we're just going in, locking down that foundation so that it does not move. Okay, that is key. And yes, I have dry skin, but I'm still like setting with powder, but I'm not looking cakey or anything. You know, like my foundation is still like doing what it's supposed to do, being matte. I still have matte coverage from the foundation. And then in the areas that I, you know, feel like I'm going to be a little bit dry, that's where I'm going to add like my setting spray to kind of help me melt all of the powder, so I don't have like that powdery look. You know what I mean? Everything is looking good. What do you guys think now? See, it just looks like skin. Like, you know, I just look like skin. Like, I can't, you know, explain that anymore. All right, so that's what I'm looking like. Love it, love it. Now I'm gonna go in with my bronzer, and for that I'm gonna be using the Coco Naughty, and I have an angle brush here. I have the Morphe E4, and that's my brush that I'm gonna use. Tap off the excess. I'm just gonna make sure that put the rest of my powder in this area. I don't want, you know, anything to move when I go in with my bronzer, so I'm just making sure that I got powder everywhere, because that's another thing. You want to make sure that you set everything and lock it down, because you go in there with multiple products and you don't set that foundation, it's not a good look. Okay, you're gonna end up with blotchiness, foundation moving everywhere. So like, setting is key. All right, so kissy face. There we go. And you can kind of see the bronzer kind of did a little thing. And it gave me a little bit of dimension to my face, so that's exactly what you want the bronzer to do. So here we go. Bronzing 101. You want to carve out the hollow of the cheek, especially you know. Then I just usually bring it to the forehead area. You know, I have a 5 head, not a really big 5 head, but I got a little head, you know, over there. So I want to kind of not make that look so pronounced. So I'm gonna go in and bronze that up. Bronze. Bring my little bandana back a little bit. Get it up in there in the roots a little bit, you know. My edges that I'm gonna lay once we get done with this look, so don't worry. And the last thing that I want to do, this is like literally it for the foundation application, is I want to go ahead and kind of like snatch my nose a little bit, and for that I'm using the same bronzer in Fenty and just going down the nose, the corner of the nose. And I kind of like to bring it up into my brows a little bit. And yeah, I like to do that a little bit. And then that's it, guys. See, I love it. Love it. Then bring this side up into the brows again. And then you can kind of see I took my nose from to this, to little, to this. Perfect. Now I think that's about, you know, all that I do for my foundation. I bronzed, I set my face with the setting powder, I did my brows already, I put on some bronzer, and then I'm gonna put on some lashes, maybe throw a little shadow on, and then I'll be back to show you the rest. Bossy is the lashes that I have on. They look really nice. I like that they're wispy and you can still see my shadow, you know, my eyes through the lashes. And then I'm gonna do lip. And for today's lip concoction, y'all, I am going to use a Pat McGrath lip, a gloss, and Shayla ColourPop liner in BFF3, and that's what we're gonna use today. So let's get into it. Y'all, I know this pencil has seen better days, okay? Okay. So I got that all lined. Oh, the lip is La Beige. And then don't forget, like, whatever products I use today, it's gonna be listed in the description box below. So you'll be able to check it out, know what it is that I use. If you're interested in in getting anything that I use in the video today, is one of my fave nude colors. Look at that. Just goes perfectly with this look. My lip, I did apply my gloss. This is the Pat McGrath in Faux Real or Faux Real. I don't know how you say it, Faux Real. These is like one of my favorite nude glosses. You can even wear this on its own, just a lip liner, and you would be good to go. Guys, if you really love the tips that I gave you today on how to apply your matte foundation for your dry skin, then don't forget to subscribe. I would love for you to become part of the Lady M family. Next video, we're just gonna build on the tips and tricks that we learned today. And so I wanna thank you for watching. Have a good week, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.